All right, so my name is Aisha Marnador, as you all know. Tonight we're going to be talking about paying student athletes. Now, out of curiosity, how many people here think college athletes that are on full ride scholarships or partial scholarships should be paid extra money? I like this. Well, before I go into more about why I agree with you that raised your hand, I would like to first introduce myself further. Of course, I'm Aisha. I played basketball at Rider for 2 years. I had a full ride here. And I also played 2 years before at Burlington County College, which is a D2 JUCO school. That was a partial scholarship, but I also had an academic scholarship. So I've never actually had to pay for schooling. But on that note, I still had to pay for a lot of other things like food, gas money to come to and from campus, and I also had to go back and forth to a job that I had when I played Division II basketball. When I played Division I basketball, unfortunately, it was so demanding that I wasn't able to work to get pocket money. But I had what we like to call daddy money. So, out of curiosity again, how many people or what percentage of college athletes do you think were below the poverty line?
At least 60%.
At least 60%?
50%, I'm going to say.
70%. Well, according to the NCAAF Sports Forum, actually the number is 86% of people
Wow.
are below the poverty line. And it's crazy because they work for the NCAA, because basically playing a sport is a full-time job between practices, studying, study hall, and classes. That's a multi-billion-dollar organization if you didn't know. So tonight I'm going to go into more about why they deserve more money and ways that we can get them more money and what you can do to make it happen. Now, scholarships. What you may not know is that 126,000 people are on scholarship in America. They have either full rides or partial rides, and it, like I said before, it's like a full-time job. This adds up to about $2 billion each year that the NCAA is putting out. But that's what I like to call baby money. Even this money could shop Oprah. These are the top 5 athletic programs in our nation, and they all make over $100 million each year. Even Ryder made over $5 million. If you go on the college, find the data website for sports. And this information came from the ESPN website, and that's from 2008. This is just last year for Ryder. So even Oprah would be shocked by those numbers, and you have to take into consideration the fact that there's over 100 more colleges that can be added to these numbers. So where does all this revenue come from? It comes from ticket sales, jersey sales, donations from maybe alumni, anything. Oh, they sell rights to watch the Super Bowl or the Bulls on TV for football. These are million-dollar activities going on. They also put people in video games. One interesting thing I found is Ed O'Bannon is suing for the NCAA giving away the rights to use his likeness in a game. So he's saying that since he's used in the game, even though his name is not shown, he should get some profit for it. That's just one thing that I wanted to point out. That's an actual photo of him. This is from the video game. He feels like he should profit from it. Unfortunately, he can't due to the fact that they're under amateurism, which means that you can't take money from anybody in any shape or form other than maybe your parents or close family members, because it would be almost like bribing you to come to the school or anything. So if you even take $20 from somebody that graduated, for example myself, I donated money to Rider this year. I donated it back to the Basketball Association, the basketball program. And they sent me a letter back, like, now that you donated, you're no longer allowed to give money to your teammates due to the fact that it will be seen as me bribing them to play or bribing them to do certain things. Therefore, I can't even take my teammates out to Applebee's to eat. Okay? Interesting, right? So that's amateurism. Their reasoning for doing this is to make education the first priority. They don't want to make it money. By keeping people under the amateurism policy, they're keeping them from being able to get the other things that they need in life. So the 86% of the people that are below the poverty line, they're not able to get the food that they need, maybe the water, any other things like that, and health or employment or property. If they go home, their families are still struggling. One good example is, you can't see it on the bottom, I wrote Jamar Samuels. He took $200 from his coach because his family was hungry and he wanted to help feed them. His coach had been there for him since he was 13, so he was a close friend of the family. After he took those $200, he was suspended from playing one of the biggest games in his life that was televised on CBS. And he played for Kansas State and he was a starter for 29 games that season. And just because he took $200 from somebody that he used to see every day, or that was an important part of his life, he wasn't allowed to play anymore. But the reason for him taking it is because he needed it to help better his lifestyle. So some of the solutions that we can take to help this from happening to more athletes is we can provide a stipend for each player per semester. I read by Robert Hayes in 2013, he did a study. $3,222 is about the amount of pocket money that each college athlete needs. And the college athletes are worth anywhere from, for football, they're worth $500,000, it's estimated, and for basketball, some players are worth over $1 million, and that's for college athletes. So a stipend for the players per semester, a $3,000 stipend, that's really not that much. Paying players by an hourly rate is another thing that they've been throwing in the air at the NCAA. And they also could provide flexible on-campus jobs for more pocket money. Because as you know, it's hard for college athletes that don't have transportation to get around, they can't afford it, and they need the extra money, but it's hard with practice also. So if they provide a specific program for athletes to work, it would help. Now, a man by the name of Patrick Ruby, I think he put it best when he compared it to the sweatshops. Of course, it's nowhere near as bad as sweatshops because we live a pretty good lifestyle. However, the fact that they deal, or I'm just going to read that, it's the best deal they individually can get within a system that's set up to ensure they have no power or ability to negotiate a better deal. So basically what he's saying is we as athletes, we don't have the power to take more money or to convince them. Right now, we're not good enough to play at the next level, or we would. This is an important stage of our athleticism for us to be able to move on if we want to play either overseas or professionally in the United States. Changes we could see if we implement these strategies, or maybe provide an incentive for more college athletes to stay longer, which would make for a better college environment. It would also make for a better professional environment because it would give the players time to develop. So not only would the players benefit, but the people watching would benefit. And it will also cause lower levels of poverty. And if you would like to implement these changes, you can go on the NCPA, National College Players Association website, and sign a petition to help improve it. But as I said before, these players, they work really hard and they deserve the extra money so they can live the lifestyle that everybody else lives, and they can have more time to get money and things that other people, college students, can automatically do because they don't spend as much time in practice. Other people can go to work or internships and college athletes can't. So this will help them live a better lifestyle in the long run.